Infernal YT. He's in the party. Say hello. Alright.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Alright, I have joined your live stream.
Alright, but have you? But have you really? So you're seeing my General Grievous right here.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes, 4 lightsabers.
Alright. So you see the main screen? These are your 3 time challenges down here at the bottom. You do these in a specific time and you get a weird reward. These are your crates. You don't really get these unless you complete challenges. You can click this and play any random mode. That's just an ad, and that's another challenge. Alright, here are your game modes. Single player, you got your campaign, your instant action to where you can play against bots and learn how to play. Arcade, you can play with a person that connects their controller from home. You got co-op missions. You can play from any timeline with 4 other people against bots like Domination on COD. Multiplayer Supremacy. 16 to 40 players get into a game and go against each other. 20 on 20. Heroes versus villains. Starfighters, you go into space and you fight with starships. Here, you get to be any hero and any villain like Darth Vader, Anakin, Luke, Obi-Wan. The list goes on. Hero Showdown, it's a 2v2 instead of a 4v4. It's a lot easier. You gotta win 3 times just to win. Then you have more. Don't really go here. Galactic Assault 20v20. Starfighter Assault. Never played that, so yeah. Strike Extraction 8 on 8. You fight against another team of 8 to get a objective. Ewok Hunt. You're an Ewok and you have to survive an Imperial infiltration to your world. Blast is another 8 on 8. You fight into close quarters combat and it's really fast to win. Here are your heroes. I'm gonna go through the troopers real quick. This is your assault trooper. He's just a regular assault trooper with SMGs and ARs. Next up is your heavy. He's my main. As you can see, I'm level 115 with him. You can get your star cards and make him upgradable and give him better stuff. You have your guns. I have all of them. T21, TL50, the FWMB 10K, my personal favorite. The DC-15LE, classic rifle for clone troopers. M42, never really used this, so I don't like it. You have your appearances. You can be like anybody. See, there's a clone, rebel, resistance troop, separatist, and a stormtrooper. They have the officer. He just uses a pistol basically. Specialist sniping. I have this sniper for now until I get this one where I can one-shot anyone. This one's a 2-shot and looks more like a hunting rifle. You got the Enforcer. He's a like an upgradable tank, kind of, a little bit. You have your aerial. He has a jetpack where you can fly around and shoot rockets at people. The Infiltrator. He is like a specialist that is stronger than regular like assault troopers, but than heroes. You have your tank. You have your fast speeder, and you have your artillery. There's a fighter where you fight in space with. You have your interceptor, which goes a lot faster, and a bomber. Now we're getting into the heroes. Aiden, you ready for this? You have Boba Fett. He has a jetpack that can shoot a concussion grenade and launch a rocket assault that can kill any trooper in a matter of seconds. Bosk. He has a blaster that can see thermal. He has trip mines that you can place everywhere and it'll kill troopers in a matter of seconds. And he has his rage mode where he goes into like a beastly thermal radiation and shoots rockets out of his gun. You have Chewbacca, he's a bowcaster. He has a thing where you can slam him to the ground, knocking anybody back and doing damage as well. His bowcaster, you can charge up and do a blast that nobody can deflect or get rid of. Darth Vader. He has a lightsaber throw, and he has a force choke. He can pick people up and do damage over time with the force choke. He has also a thing called focused rage, where you can go into rage mode where you take less damage, do more damage, and get a massive health increase. His abilities are right there: lightsaber throw, focus rage, and a choke. Palpatine, he has a chain lightning where you can like shock people and they'll freeze for a second. His dark aura, which gives health to teammates and does damage to other people while they cannot see it in like a black mist. And electrocute, it's basically like a shock, like lightning, but just does massive damage to people. Solo, you have a detonate charge where you can throw like a thermite type thing and it'll knock people over if it hits them directly. Sharpshooter, it does more damage but takes less time. It takes more time to fire. And then shoulder charge, you bum rush people and just knock them over if you hit them right. Iden, she has a stun droid where you get stunned for like 5-6 seconds and you can't move or attack or block. Her pulse cannon basically is like a grenade launcher and does massive damage that you cannot block. Her droid shield is a droid that can set a body shield around her where you can't hit her from any sides unless it's destroyed. I heard that, Aiden.
I know.
Kylo Ren, my favorite Darksider. You can have a pull that does lethal damage, a frenzy that does 3 attacks that do massive damage if all hit, and your freeze. You can freeze anybody and nobody can shoot you or move. Great for getaways. Lando, I never really use him. His smoke grenade, it's not that useful. His sharp shot, not that useful. His disabler is though, and you can shock opponents and they can't move for about 5 seconds. Leia. Thermal detonators, she can throw 3 grenades and they do massive damage. Her rapid fire gives her an SMG that can do high damage if not blocked. And her squad shield is a shield bubble that anybody can go into and protect them from all sides. Luke Skywalker. He has a force push that can launch like people like 30 feet or further. His repulse is the same thing, except it goes all around him instead of one direction. And his rush is where he does a little bit of a flip into people while striking. Maul. He has a lightsaber throw where he can do a bunch of damage as he throws it and as it comes back. His chokehold, he can do damage and launch them really far. His spin attack is where he does like a massive twirl towards an opponent, and if you hit it, it does pretty good damage. Rey. Her dash strike has people, it runs at an opponent. If it hits them dead on, it'll knock them down and do damage. Her insight is like, it gives away every position on the map to enemies to where they are. Her mind trick is a thing that makes your controls inverted for about 9 seconds. Master Yoda. He has an unleash where it's like a force push. Presence, it gives a health boost to him and his allies nearby. His dash attack is basically the same as Luke's. He does a flip at people. Finn. His Deadeye. It's pretty good if you know how to aim with his gun. Big Deal gives him about more like points to get. I don't know. I've never really read into it, so let's read it. As a hero, resistant Finn inspires nearby enemies by supplying them with extra health, damage reduction, no weapon cooldown, and faster ability recharge. His undercover team equipping a trusty GLIE-44. Finn leads his allies behind enemy lines, granting increased sprint speed, cover from enemy radars, and awareness of enemy locations. Captain Phasma. She has a staff that she can pull out and hit people with, and it does pretty good damage. Not really effective unless she's near her first order security drone, which if people get in the way or near her while she's in the range of her security drone, it will shock them and freeze them for about 20 seconds. Just kidding, nah, that's too much time. About 6 seconds. And her survivor gives her a gun buff and a faster spin on her security droid. General Grievous. He has a thrust surge that can do a bunch of damage as well as knock people over from a far range. His unrelenting advance is where he spins his 4 lightsabers while walking towards an enemy that can do damage, and they cannot hit him unless they're behind him, and he can turn around while he's in this. His claw rush, he gets on all 4s and does like a spider rush in between enemies that knocks them over if not blocked or dodged. Daddy Wan Kenobi. He has an all-out push that, if it's charged up, can push him at least 100 feet and off a map if used correctly. His restrictive mind trick is a mind trick that forces enemies to rely on saber combat because their abilities are disabled. Defensive rush. When he's in this, no blaster shots can really hit him unless you're behind him, because he's defensively running towards you, blocking every shot. And when he's done, he can do a swing and do a bunch of damage. Count Dooku. He has a lightning stun that can do a bunch of damage to anybody with lightning, and it'll knock them over if they have a massive amount of health. Duelist. He can activate this and do more damage with faster strikes and lose less stamina as he's striking and blocking. His exposed weakness makes enemies take more damage while not being able to sprint or run away from him. Anakin Skywalker. He has 4 abilities. He has 1 extra one due to being the chosen one. Anakin's pull dominance lets him pull enemies towards him and doing damage in the process. Heroic Might's is same as Luke's repulse or all out, I don't remember thing, but he does the same thing. He can do damage around him instead of one direction. Passionate Strikes, he unleashes a really heavy strike that can do massive damage if not blocked or dodged, and it's really easy to block or dodge. So yeah, and then Retribution, his 4th power that nobody else has. Anakin's power intensifies when he has nearby allies are attacked, building towards the ultimate punishment of a swift, inescapable grip seizing all enemies around him. So he basically lifts up any enemy and deal a high amount of damage to him, unless they're blocking. We have 2 more, Aiden, you ready? Aiden. We have 2 more.
Yeah.
We have 2 more.
Can you hear me?
Yeah? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Alright, hello, Chase?
Aiden?
I muted you in the party because I heard double mute, so it's like timed out.
Oh, alright.
So I'm just listening.
Alright. A brave and resourceful astromech droid BB-8 is. He has a resistance backing that can boost heroes' health or your allies' health. He has a cable spin that unleashes like a bunch of like metal whips that nobody can block. You would have to run away from this little shit. Rolling charge. If you hit, it's just like Han Solo's shoulder rush. If you get hit by it, you get knocked over and it does damage to you. Same can be said for this little bitch as well. He's the same thing except weirdo. He has a smoke screen that can deploy a bunch of smoke that's not see-through. He has a shock spin that's basically the same as the metal, but it's electrocuting, so there's a little bit more damage. And his charge up is a pulse that prevents the shock pod and preventing any blaster and vicinity overheating. In addition, close allies will have their ability recharge time reduced. Alright, that was the last of the heroes. And you have your career. Your max rank is level 50. And you have all these challenges to do. I am stuck on this one because I really want Old Master Maul. And that's basically the rundown on Star Wars Battlefront 2.